Hello, everyone. I'm Saleha, and this is Chai, Chat, and Community. Tonight, I'm chatting with Malaz, a member of the South Sudanese community in the western suburbs. Hello, Malaz.
Hi, Saleha. How are you?
Good, thank you, and thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me. Very
So,
excited to be on.
yes, me too. Very excited, and it's such a pleasure.
It is. It
Um,
is.
Malaz, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Okay, yes. I am a newly admitted lawyer in September. I've moved to Australia in 2003 with my family. I'm the second oldest. And I grew up in the western suburbs here in Melbourne. And yeah, I'm about to start a new role tomorrow, actually on Monday. Start my position as a lawyer with legal aid. So I'm very excited for that.
Must be very excited. Somebody
Yeah,
wants to
it
say
is.
hello to you. Hello, Sana.
Sana. Hi, Sana. Very kind.
Um, so you moved when did you move to Australia, and why did your parents move here?
In 2003, so we moved, I'm sure, same reason as many migrants, for better opportunities, the education, and a better lifestyle. Before coming to Australia, we lived in Egypt for a number of years before we settled down in countryside, and then we came to the western suburbs.
Okay, so you've been there for a while now.
Yes, yeah, a long time.
A lot.
Very long time. Most of
Yes,
my memories are here in this lovely country. So.
yes. Tell me about your schooling, Malaj. Were you treated differently because you're from a, culturally and diverse and linguistically diverse background, or were you easily accepted?
Yeah. So I started schooling at a very young age. I'm pretty sure I started from prep. And when we first migrated here, we started straight at primary school, and my sister and I used to often leave school to start language school because we didn't really know any English. And I remember that experience being quite positive because we lived in a small country town, and it's a very good community. But you can now that I reflect back, you can tell that the young people in the primary school were not really aware of different cultures and different people. It's most dominantly Caucasians. And from the teacher's side, they're very welcoming as they want to help you and help you learn and fit in. But in the playground, I often found myself answering many unique questions from
Wow.
my friends.
Like
And
what?
This very odd questions like, you know, like why is the color of your skin so dark?
Yep,
Has
I
it
was going to
always
ask you.
been? Yeah,
Oh,
that's the most common question you'll ever receive, but we often receive that. A lot of question about my hair because I used to come with different hairstyles all the time, like the braids and the beads in the braids. If for us African cultures, a lot of people would know that we do different type of braiding,
yes, yes.
and a lot of my friends in primary school used to get so curious each time when I come with a new hairstyle, and I guess I was very excited and oblivious to the fact that I didn't see anything wrong with it. I just thought that they were clueless and they just want to know more about me. And I had as much as I had many questions to give to them as I had to answer. But growing up, when you reflect, you think, wow, like, don't their parents really teach them this kind of stuff at home? And does it take like one African student in your classroom for you to learn more? So,
Do you think
yeah.
that's changed, Malas?
Um, it's interesting. I would hope it changed. But some towns are not as diverse as other towns. So because I was in countrysides and I moved closer to metropolitan, you can tell there's so many different cultures here, and it's all integrated quite well. Whereas the further out you go, it's more Caucasian and more like closed off, that they won't really know what's really out there of my experience. However, I do hope that it's changed, because even in social media and TV, you see a lot of different people playing different roles and stories about different cultures. Yeah.
I'm just going to show a comment from Sana. Hello, Sana. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, Sana.
So you're a lawyer. Did you always wanted to study law, and why did you want to study law?
I love this question, because I never thought I'll be a lawyer one day. Growing up, I was a very active young person. I was into sports, and then I was into cooking, and I liked practical education rather than theory and books. When I finished high school, I actually pursued marketing and event management, because I was into like hospitality and the event side of things. And I realized quite quickly that I wasn't interested in that when I went into university the first semester, because we did subjects like economics and accounting, and then events management, and in the marketing side of it, any of the subjects that I undertook did not appeal to me. So I thought I might search something that's more broad for me to explore. So I transferred to commerce, because I still had an interest in business, but I wasn't sure what of it I was interested in. And it took me taking a business law unit to realize that maybe law is the area I should go to, because on the other side, part of my interest when I'm reading novels, or when I'm watching movies, or when I just see in the newspaper an interesting article regarding crime, I just get intrigued by it and I want to learn more about it. But I never considered that I'll be the type of person to study such a degree. Yep. So I really focused in my business law class, and I did really great. And I spoke with the teacher, and he kind of gave me like an understanding of what a law degree would look like. And I took it to my course guide at that university, and pretty much my course guide kind of discouraged me. That's because I was, yeah. Well, like I said, I was practical. I wasn't really into the theory side of it. So my grades were not straight A's, but they were above average. And she thought it would be more efficient if I finished my commerce degree and then come back and do a law degree, rather than doing a double degree or full on transferring over. But I wasn't patient for that. So I kept looking for other options at different universities and speaking to other people. And that's when I spoke to someone from VU and applied there, and I transferred the following semester. So, and from then on, I just fell in love with every subject I took. And during my studies at law school, I still had that doubt, because I was wondering whether I was setting myself up to fail, because this is something that's so hard. Well, what society calls, they say it's really hard to get into. And considering that I am an ethnic woman, I thought it would be so much more harder to gain employment afterwards. And that paranoia kind of followed me through the whole law degree, which kind of made me say yes to everything that I signed up to during that journey. And well, it placed me here today. So it kind of helped me. It was bittersweet.
But it's sad, isn't it, Malaz, that as ethnic women, we are always worried whether we are going to be accepted, what our job opportunities will look like. It's this fear that we shouldn't be having, and yet we have it.
Yeah, it's always there. And I wish it was different, but I feel like that doubt just gets kind of thrown at us, that even if we try to dodge it, we just feel like we have to work twice as hard, double as hard as anyone else, regardless. If you can be the most smartest person in the room, have straight A's plus, and you go to a boardroom and you sit around the table, you're as qualified as everyone else, but then when you speak, you kind of doubt yourself because you don't look like everyone else.
Yes.
And you feel like they're doubting everything you're saying, but you're both from the same background. And I'm not sure if that's going to change anytime soon. One step is to change your mental view of it and just adjust your mindset and put yourself in equal shoes and act like you're the same people. And then that way, when you're discriminated against, you're not the crazy one. The people who are looking at you and pointing at you differently are the crazy ones.
I hope it changes, and I hope it changes. Moving from law, you are an active member of the community, and you've worked alongside Melton City Council, secondary school, and with Big Police. So can you tell us what exactly you've done?
Yeah, so that all happened in the previous 3 years. So I worked at a secondary school down in Melton as a community liaison officer. But before that, I kind of started off just attending community meetings. I'm not sure if you're aware, but a few years ago is when the negative media portrayal of the African community started getting a little bit full on. Like almost every day you see something on the media about young African youth. And me and a group of my friends weren't quite sure what to do about that. And we figured if we just start conversations within our communities and within ourselves and come up with a plan or an event to kind of tackle that objective. So it started off from there with a few cohort of mine, and we hosted a meeting down in Melton with our parents and some of our leaders. And then from that, I got connected to someone who's a very close mentor of mine. And he's my mentor now, but he approached me to mentor some students at the secondary school because he thought that I would firstly get along with them, and secondly, I'll be able to show them that they do not need to listen to the portrayal that's been put out into the world. Just look within our communities. There's some young leaders who are doing strong work, and just network and lead them into a positive direction. So I started mentoring, just once a week for 3 hours, and that led into like a part-time role. And part of that role, we would meet with other schools and community liaison officers. We would meet with the city council, speak about events, try and link the students to the events the council's hosting. And regarding Victoria Police, I was approached by a member, and he asked me to join them in 2018 on a trip to Papua New Guinea to do the Kokoda Trail. And like I said, when I started law school, I was so paranoid about not succeeding. So I changed my mind. I just said yes to everything. So when he approached me asking me to participate in the Kokoda Trail, I didn't necessarily know what it was, but I said,
so
yes,
you didn't know what
it.
You were signing off. Yes.
I had no idea. But I said, yes, it sounds like a great opportunity. I'd love to participate because he said you'll be going as a youth leader. It's a trip. It's going to be in Papua New Guinea. I was like, okay, fantastic. Then I went and searched up the Kokoda Trail, and I found out it's a 100-kilometer hike.
Yes.
So it's going to take 8 days.
Yeah.
And I was startled, but I got very excited because I've never been I've never had such an opportunity. And I thought I'll be able to challenge myself and push myself. And I thought, like, if I'm anxious and scared to do this hike, imagine these young kids who are, a little bit lost in this world.
So, sorry, Malaz, how old were the kids that you were going to take with?
Yeah, they were between the ages of 16 to 21.
Okay.
Yeah. So the young leaders were around the higher age group, and then the disengaged young people were in the lower age group, and there was about 4 youth leaders. And it was the candidates that were selected were from the western suburbs, all across from Wyndham, to Taylor's Hill, Melton, and Sunshine. And yeah, so we went over to Papua New Guinea for 10 days. 8 of those days we were hiking. We had the packbacks, the sticks, and it was a wonderful experience. We got really involved with people of the village in Papua New Guinea, our hike leaders, and also the police officers as well. We built strong relationship with them as well.
Thank you. I'm going to show you another comment. That's my friend, Nicole. Hi, Nick. Thank you for joining. Yes, it's a great story.
Thank you. It is. When I was on the journey, every day, the first couple of days, I was really excited. And then the weather got horrendous. It's really hot and humid. I think the hardest part of the trip was like day 4 and 5, where you think, oh my God, we've hiked for so long, but we still have so much longer to go. And when I was on the trip, I used to say, I'm not doing this again. I'm never going to do this again. And as soon as I got home a few weeks later, I just found myself missing it.
And you want to do it again?
I want to do it again. So if I get approached to hike 100 kilometers, I'm all up for it.
Hey, Nick. Hey, Nick. I'm so glad you're watching. And thanks for watching, Nick.
Thanks for watching.
So, you took the kids for the Kokoda Trail. What did you achieve? First of all, what was the purpose of this trek, and what did you achieve?
The purpose of the trek is to, teach the young youth, lessons about resilience, putting them in an environment that they're not necessarily comfortable in, and showing them a different perspective to what they may be going through. It's also to connect them with young leaders of the community who are not far from their age group, who are in a different mental state. Yes. And also Victoria Police members were also hiking with us. So they were showing us that they're not just people in uniform, but they could connect with the young people as well. And I found that during that trip, there was 3 categories of people involved, and we all kind of blended into one big happy family because we're trying to achieve one common goal, and that's to reach the end line. And we also got to see how people lived in Papua New Guinea in the villages, in humid weather, in tents, however it is. We got to see it all. We heard stories. We met the young kids, and it was a life-changing experience because the main intention was to kind of change the perspective and open your eyes to the world and set your mind towards the target, and you can achieve it. And what I took away from that personally was, I know how to hike now, but
very important
for your health. But secondly, it's just the ability to connect and get to know different types of people and hear their stories and kind of relate and understand them. And because that's something that I was very anxious about, spending 8 days in the bush hiking with people you don't even know, but then everyone has their own individual stories. And I gathered from that experience, I picked up some skill sets that I'll be able to apply when I'm practicing as a lawyer, is, hearing individual stories, being able to speak to various types of people and understanding their circumstance and not judging and seeing how we can help each other. And I thought that that's a very valuable lesson that I'm going to take with me. And the environment as well, being able to perform in such an environment is very critical.
Here's Vasalia. Hello, Vasalia. Vasalia's saying hello all the way from Mitchellshire.
Oh, wow. Hello.
For watching, Vasalia. So did it make a difference to the kids who hiked with you?
Yeah.
And has the mindset changed in the general population about Sudanese kids? Do you think it's changed?
In the general population, I still believe that there's work to do. I feel like the issues that the community experiencing is something that's came so fast and so full on that we're dealing with it steadily, and we're trying to work with the kids who may be in that disengaged mindset, but also we want to prevent future kids from falling into that mindset. So I think we're doing a great job. There's so many representatives, so many community members and leaders, and also, just general people in the community who are willing to help and understand us. But in terms of growth, there's always room for growth and improvement. In terms of the kids who participate in Kokoda, they're doing fantastic. I'm very proud. The other day, I saw one of the boys just got a scholarship to play basketball overseas.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's so great. I got really happy. And, another student is very active. She's from an Indigenous background. And, I follow her on social media, and she's using social media to share her voice and share awareness. And I feel like that's very important, very mature, and she's going to be heading towards the right track as well. So the students are doing really good.
Thank you. So you have received many awards and recognition. And so let's list them one by one, and then you can tell us how it's helped the community.
Okay.
So you had, sorry, no.
No, are you going to list them?
No, you are going to list them. Sorry, I was just.
That's okay. So, over the 2 years, 2018 and 2019, I got nominated for Young Citizen of the Year in 2018, and Young Citizen of the Year 2018, and then Young Citizen of the Year 2019, off the top of my memory. All those awards came to me by surprise because, I was entering the community work and volunteer work and meeting various people. So I was very blessed and humbled to even be nominated and, be a part of such a crowd, so many people out there doing such great stuff. How has that helped the community? I feel like in a simple way, just having someone representing the community, having a familiar face, go up on that stage and receive that award is empowering itself. The more of us who, receive awards, the more of us who are portrayed in a positive light, it's going to empower so many other people who see that. They may not be interested in the particular award or what's happening, but the fact that it's a positive representation should have a beneficial domino effect, essentially. And what I took away from that is because I received these nominations from a very great mentor of mine, and he's helped me and connected me with so many people. And from that, I want to do that to the next person who's after me.
So you're going to pay it forward.
Sorry?
I said you're going to pay it forward.
Pay it forward, 100%. It's not going to stick with me. I want to see more of us being represented, ethnic people, females, especially the young people, because they need our support 100%. And I want to back them all the way. So that's what I took from it. And I hope that the community also sees it in that way.
Thank you. You've been working for like 2 years now?
For
how long have you been working?
I've been at the secondary school.
No. You've been working as a paralegal, and now you're going to join legal aid tomorrow. So you've been working for a couple of years, or is it a year?
Yeah. I've been working. It feels like forever. So since a very young age, I think I was in year 9, I started working in hospitality, and I've been there. And then I always juggled 2 jobs at a time. So when I was working at the school, I was also working in hospitality. And then I kind of stopped that a little bit and picked up legal aid. I did a clerkship as legal aid last year, and I stuck with them on a weekly basis with the youth crime team, hence my passion for the young people. And I've been working as a paralegal for about almost a year now, since last year as well, alongside legal aid. But now I'm putting a pause to the multiple balls that I was juggling over the years, and I'm ready to focus on the one thing and get my career started.
Okay, thank you. So how has workplace treated you? Has it treated you well? Has there been any underlying racism, workplace bullying? I'm just interested in knowing.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would like to say I've had a very positive experience in the workplace, especially, you know, at legal aid and the law firm I worked at. You know, it's very professional, corporate, and everyone I've met has been very friendly and supportive. And that's because I was able to build great relationships with my team members. In hospitality, in terms of the workplace, I did not receive any kind of discrimination. There's always, you know, petty small dramas that happens here and there in hospitality, but it's never for me, from my experience, has never been that big. Yes. But at the same time, I tend to get oblivious to some situations, and I feel like that's something I just always grew up with ever since my primary school days in countryside. So if there was indirect discrimination, I certainly did not let that stop me.
Good on you. That's really, what a great attitude.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what message do you have for the community, young boys and girls who come from a similar background to yours?
Yeah, my key message is, you know, if you have a goal, an ambition, something you're very interested in, pursue it. You know, network in that industry, make great connections, and just keep your doors open to whatever may come your way. Don't limit yourself. And I understand that quite often we do limit ourselves mentally, and it's just a battle that you have to, you know, face, look yourself in the mirror and challenge yourself a little bit, and follow that little fire inside you, to push you out the door and to speak to people who may help you or may educate you in that industry. What have worked for me is my ability to network and say yes to a lot of things, even though I don't know what it may necessarily entail. And I found that really helped me, and it connected me to various types of people. And I hope that if you're faced with opportunity or you're seeking an opportunity, just go out and reach it, and follow what your heart desires.
Thank you. Anything else you would like to share about you, messages, what your community is doing, how to change mindset, you know, just our thinking?
Yeah, it just, for you to do that, you just have to start the conversation. You know, speak to a relative, a friend, or a colleague about what you hope to achieve. And, you know, if you're not too terrified, speak about your fears, and you never know, someone may be experiencing the same type of fear, and you two can conquer it together. So that's something very important. But other than that, I really would love to thank you, Saleha, for having me on. I had a wonderful time chatting with you, and the work you're doing, having wonderful people come out on this platform and speak and share experiences is fantastic. So thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, Malaz. It's been so lovely chatting with you, and all the best for your new job tomorrow.
Thank you.
Break a leg.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to bed early today.
Yes, go to bed. And I hope the future is yours now. And I'm sure you'll grab it with both your hands.
And
I'd love to see you back again. So
definitely.
Okay. Thanks, Malaz. Have a good night. Thank
You
you all
too.
for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.